This is Austria. A country where nature's beauty and human history collide in perfect harmony. Towering alpine peaks give way to emerald valleys. Centuries-old villages sit peacefully by crystal-clear lakes, and every corner feels like a painting brought to life. From grand imperial cities echoing with the music of Mozart to remote mountain trails where silence speaks louder than words, Austria is a land that surprises, captivates, and inspires. Today, we're traveling across this breathtaking country, exploring the very best it has to offer. From soaring peaks to hidden gems you've never heard of, these are Austria's most incredible places. 1. Dachstein. High above the clouds, where the air turns crisp and the mountains reign supreme, lies one of Austria's most awe-inspiring wonders, the Dachstein. A realm of towering limestone peaks, ancient glaciers, and views that seem almost too vast to be real. The crown jewel here? The Dachstein Skywalk, a glass viewing platform perched 8,858 feet, 2,700 meters, above sea level, often called the balcony of the Alps. Step onto it, and suddenly the world drops away. Beneath your feet, sheer cliffs plunge hundreds of feet down. Ahead, a sea of jagged mountaintops stretches as far as the eye can see, from the Julian Alps in Slovenia to the Czech border. But Dachstein is more than just breathtaking views. Hidden deep within the mountain are the famous Dachstein ice caves, a frozen labyrinth of shimmering tunnels and towering ice sculptures, carved by nature over thousands of years. And for those chasing a thrill, the Dachstein Suspension Bridge dares you to cross Austria's highest hanging bridge. Every step sways just slightly, a reminder of the raw power of nature surrounding you. Up here, with nothing but rock, ice, and sky, it's easy to forget the world below. This is Austria at its most dramatic, where nature shows off and you're lucky enough to stand in the front row. 2. Vienna. Few cities blend history and elegance as effortlessly as Vienna. Once the heart of the mighty Habsburg Empire, its streets unfold like a living museum, with Baroque palaces and grand boulevards telling stories of emperors, artists, and revolutionaries. At its center rises Schönbrunn Palace, a stunning 1,441-room masterpiece that once housed emperors and queens. Golden halls, vast gardens, and ornate fountains make it one of Europe's finest, rivaling even Versailles. Yet Vienna thrives far beyond its imperial past. Music, art, and a legendary café culture pulse through the city. The soaring notes of the Vienna State Opera fill the air, while the quiet charm of Café Central, once frequented by minds like Freud and Trotsky, lingers with every cup of coffee. Explore the Ringstrasse, home to Gothic spires, Art Nouveau facades, and imperial grandeur, all stitched into a skyline uniquely Vienna's. Then dive into a plate of Wiener Schnitzel or a slice of rich Sachertorte, because here, even meals feel like a celebration. This is a city where music floats, beauty hides in plain sight, and history feels anything but distant. 3. Zillertal Valley. Tucked deep in the Tyrolean Alps, Zillertal Valley is a place where Austria's alpine beauty feels limitless. Rolling meadows give way to towering peaks, and every turn reveals another postcard-perfect view. Known as the Valley of Music, Zillertal's traditions run deep. Centuries of folk songs and alpine melodies still echo through its villages, carried on the mountain breeze. But beyond the music, This valley is a playground for adventure seekers. Hiking trails wind through lush forests and past thundering waterfalls, leading up to panoramic viewpoints that steal your breath, sometimes literally. In summer, green pastures stretch beneath skies so blue they hardly seem real. Come winter, the valley transforms into a snowy wonderland with over 300 miles of ski slopes drawing enthusiasts from around the world. At the heart of Zillertal's charm are its small towns like Meyerhofen. Cozy streets lined with traditional wooden houses invite you to slow down, grab a coffee, and watch the mountains glow golden at sunset. And then there's the food. Hearty Tyrolean dishes like Kaiserschmarrn, mountain cheese, and freshly baked bread, all best enjoyed with a cold local beer after a long day outdoors. Zillertal isn't just beautiful. It's a place that feels alive, a living, breathing celebration of everything that makes the Austrian Alps unforgettable. 4. Salzburg. Salzburg feels like a symphony in stone, a city where every square, every alley hums with centuries of music and history. Birthplace of Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart, it's a place that carries melody in its veins. The pastel facades of the Altstadt rise along narrow streets, leading to bustling markets and ornate church towers, all watched over by the imposing Hohensalzburg fortress, standing guard for more than 900 years. Framing the city are rolling hills and distant peaks, a backdrop so striking it became the setting for The Sound of Music. Mirabell Gardens, with its marble statues and manicured lawns, feels like a scene plucked straight from a fairy tale. As the sun dips low, the Salzach River reflects the golden glow of the city. Cafes spill into the streets as laughter, music, and the clink of glasses fill the air. Salzburg is timeless, refined but never cold, grand yet intimate. This city doesn't demand attention but earns it, one breathtaking moment at a time. 5. Großglockner. At the heart of Austria's alpine crown rises Großglockner, the country's tallest peak, towering at 12,461 feet, 3,798 meters. More than just a mountain, it's a symbol of Austria's wild, untamed beauty. Getting there is an adventure in itself. The Großglockner High Alpine Road snakes through the mountains, a masterpiece of engineering that climbs steep slopes, crosses glaciers, and opens up to vistas that steal your breath. Around every curve, the scenery shifts, from emerald meadows to jagged rock faces, dusted with snow. Reaching the Kaiser Franz Josefshöhe viewpoint, you're rewarded with a sweeping panorama of the Pasterze Glacier, Austria's largest. The scale is humbling. Ice and rock stretching out beneath the sky, mountains rising like ancient giants. Wildlife thrives here too. Marmots whistle through the alpine grasslands, while ibex balance effortlessly on cliffs that seem impossible to climb. Großglockner commands respect. Everything around you, the sky, the stone, the endless ice, feels vast and untouchable. Standing here, you don't just see the Alps, you feel their power. 6. Hallstatt. Nestled between mountains and lake lies a village that seems painted by an artist's hand. Hallstatt, with its 16th century alpine houses cascading down steep slopes to the shores of Lake Hallstatt, represents Austria's quintessential postcard perfection. Morning mists drift across the water, veiling the village until sunlight breaks through, illuminating colorful facades mirrored in the glassy surface below. The still waters reflect each building, creating a doubled reality that feels almost dreamlike. Beyond its undeniable beauty, Hallstatt harbors a deeper story. The ancient salt mines threading through the mountains above have sustained communities here for over 7,000 years. The Hallstatt culture, dating back to the early Iron Age, left archaeological treasures that changed our understanding of prehistoric Europe. Follow narrow pathways winding between centuries-old buildings, each turn revealing another scene worthy of capturing. The Lutheran Church's delicate spire punctuates the village skyline, while the Catholic Church's bone-filled charnel house reminds visitors of mortality amid all this beauty. Take a boat across the lake for the classic panoramic view that inspired countless artists and photographers. As evening approaches, the day trippers depart, leaving Hallstatt to return to its true self, a living, working village where tradition and modernity exist in delicate balance. This is a place that defies time, where the mountains, sky, and water create a natural cathedral around human habitation. Despite its newfound fame, Hallstatt remains authentically Austrian, a testament to a culture that has always found harmony between natural grandeur and human scale. 7. Innsbruck. Surrounded by mountain sentinels, Innsbruck offers a rare alchemy of urban sophistication and immediate access to alpine wilderness. The capital of Tyrol sits confidently in its valley, medieval architecture juxtaposed against dramatic peaks that seem close enough to touch. The iconic golden roof gleams in the heart of the old town. 2,657 gold-plated copper tiles commemorating Emperor Maximilian I's wedding. Nearby, the Imperial Palace stands as testament to Habsburg power, its ornate halls whispering stories of royal intrigue. What distinguishes Innsbruck is its dual personality. One moment, you're sipping coffee in an elegant cafe. Minutes later, you could be ascending thousands of feet via the Nordkette cable car, stepping into a mountainous realm of limestone and sky. The city has embraced its alpine setting, hosting the Winter Olympics twice. Its ski jumps and slopes remain, drawing winter sports enthusiasts from across the globe. Yet Innsbruck transcends seasonal appeal. Summer brings hikers, climbers, and those simply seeking mountain air. University students bring youthful energy to medieval streets, while the Inn River flows steadily through, a liquid highway connecting past and present. Markets bustle with activity, offering Tyrolean specialties against the backdrop of pastel-painted merchant houses. As dusk falls, Innsbruck transforms again. Mountain silhouettes sharpen against fading light, while the city below begins to twinkle. This interplay between civilization and wilderness, between historical weight and contemporary vitality, creates a tension that makes Innsbruck perpetually fascinating. 8. Wachau Valley. The Danube River curves gently through the Wachau Valley, creating a landscape where water, vineyards, and history blend in perfect proportion. This 19-mile, 30-kilometer stretch between Melk and Krems showcases Austria's ability to cultivate both land and culture over millennia. Terraced vineyards climb impossibly steep slopes, their careful arrangement testament to generations of winemakers who have coaxed Gruner Veltliner and Riesling grapes from this challenging terrain. The resulting wines, crisp, mineral-rich, and distinctive, embody the valley's essence. Medieval villages punctuate the riverbanks, their church spires reaching skyward. Dürnstein, with its blue-towered abbey and ruined castle, where Richard the Lionheart was once imprisoned, captures the valley's romantic spirit. Nearby, Melk Abbey's imposing Baroque presence dominates the landscape, its golden walls housing centuries of monastic scholarship. Riverside cycling paths offer intimate encounters with this UNESCO World Heritage landscape. Apricot orchards burst with white blossoms in spring, while autumn transforms the valley into a tapestry of amber, crimson, and gold. The Danube itself provides another perspective. Riverboats glide past crumbling castles and carefully preserved architecture, offering views unchanged for centuries. Small ferries still connect villages across the water, maintaining ancient connections. In the Wachau, human activity has enhanced rather than diminished natural beauty. Stone terraces prevent erosion while creating microclimates perfect for viticulture. Orchards and gardens provide food while preserving biodiversity. This is sustainable living practiced long before the term existed. a landscape shaped by human hands yet feeling utterly organic. 9. Krimml Waterfalls. Raw power cascades through pristine wilderness at Krimml, where Austria's highest waterfalls plunge in 3 dramatic stages. The combined drop of 1,250 feet, 381 meters, creates a spectacle of mist, thunder, and rainbows that engages every sense. The approach reveals itself gradually. First the distant roar, then glimpses through pine forests, finally the full reveal of water plummeting with unstoppable force. A well-maintained trail climbs alongside the falls, presenting increasingly impressive vantage points. With each step higher, the perspective shifts, revealing new channels and cascades hidden from below. The water's journey begins high in the Krimmler Zillertal Valley, fed by glacial melt from the Hohe Tauern National Park. By the time it reaches the falls, it has gathered momentum that transforms it from benign stream to thundering torrent. During summer, up to 20,000 liters of water crash down every second, generating a microclimate of perpetual mist. Mosses and ferns thrive in this constant moisture, forming pockets of emerald green among the gray stone. The negative ions released by the falling water create what locals call waterfall therapy, a natural boost to mood and well-being. Wildlife flourishes in this border zone between mountain and valley. Alpine swifts dart through the spray, while keen eyes might spot chamois navigating the surrounding cliffs with impossible grace. Winter transforms Krimml into a different wonder. Partially frozen cascades create sculptures of ice alongside channels of water that refuse to surrender to the cold. This seasonal metamorphosis makes Krimml worth visiting repeatedly, a natural masterpiece that never displays the same face twice. 10. Lake Neusiedl. Straddling the Austrian-Hungarian border lies a paradox, a vast lake so shallow it seems to merge with the sky. Lake Neusiedl, Central Europe's largest steppe lake, averages just 5 feet deep across its almost 80,000 acres. That's 32,375 hectares, creating a landscape of light, reflection, and endless horizons. Reed beds stretch for miles, home to over 300 bird species that fill the air with calls and movement. Herons stand motionless in shallow waters, purple patches of iris bloom along marshy edges, and occasionally, the white flash of traditional Latin-sailed boats cuts across the water. This is Austria's warmest region, with vineyards producing distinctive wines from grapes baked in Pannonian sun. Villages like Rust feature stork chimneys, nesting platforms where these massive birds return each year, their presence considered a blessing on the community below. The Neusiedler Winkl National Park protects this unique ecosystem where alpine and Pannonian zones meet. Saline ponds attract diverse waterfowl, including spoonbills and avocets, while the marshy terrain supports plants found nowhere else in Austria. The area serves as a critical stopover for migratory birds, with tens of thousands passing through during spring and autumn. Cycling paths circle the lake, passing through sun-drenched villages where architecture reveals centuries of Austrian and Hungarian influence. The Esterházy Palace in Fürtad, just across the Hungarian border, stands as testament to the region's aristocratic history, its 126 rooms once echoing with compositions by Joseph Haydn. Here, the landscape breathes with seasonal rhythms. Spring brings riotous bird migration, summer offers sailing and swimming, autumn colors the vineyards gold, while winter sometimes freezes the lake solid, transforming it into Europe's largest natural skating rink. Lake Neusiedl exemplifies Austria's diversity, a place where mountains give way to plains and alpine tradition meets Pannonian warmth. 11. Dachstein Valley. Deep in the Hohe Tauern Mountains, the Dachstein Valley offers a landscape where healing waters emerge from ancient rock. For centuries, people have journeyed here, seeking the restorative powers of thermal springs that maintain a constant 45 degrees Celsius, 113 degrees Fahrenheit, as they bubble up from depths of 6,500 feet. That's almost 2 kilometers. The valley's 3 main towns, Bad Gastein, Bad Hofgastein, and Dorfgastein, each possess distinct character. Bad Gastein, with its Belle Epoque architecture cascading down steep slopes, evokes a more romantic era. The Gasteiner waterfall thunders through the town center, its negative ions complementing the thermal water's healing properties. Emperors and artists once promenaded along these streets, taking the waters between creating masterpieces or governing empires. Today's visitors still seek wellness, but also outdoor adventure. 136 miles of hiking trails thread through surrounding mountains, while winter brings skiers to slopes that receive reliable snowfall. What makes Gastein unique is its radon-rich thermal water, believed to provide relief for inflammatory conditions. The Healing Gallery, a former gold mine turned therapeutic center, combines high humidity, heat, and naturally occurring radon in a treatment found nowhere else in Austria. Alpine pastures stretch above the tree line, dotted with traditional mountain huts serving hearty Pinzgauer cuisine. Crystal-clear mountain lakes reflect surrounding peaks, while the Kötschachtal side valley offers sanctuary to ibex and golden eagles. Gastein represents the Austrian talent for blending natural splendor with sophisticated culture. Here you can soak in thermal pools while gazing at towering peaks, or attend a classical concert before hiking to a mountain summit. Few places offer such seamless integration of wellness, wilderness, and refinement. 12. Zell am See, Kaprun. Nestled between glacier-capped mountains and an alpine lake of extraordinary clarity stands a destination that epitomizes Austrian versatility. Zell am See Kaprun offers a rare combination: a pristine lake surrounded by 10,000 feet peaks, over 3,000 meters, plus a glacier accessible year-round. The town of Zell am See curves around the lakeshore, its medieval center preserved within an otherwise modern resort. Lake Zell itself, fed by mountain springs, achieves drinking water quality. Summer brings swimmers and sailors to its emerald waters, as surrounding mountains provide panoramic hiking. Nearby, Kaprun presents a different face, a mountain village that serves as gateway to the Kitzsteinhorn Glacier. Here, at 10,500 feet or 3,200 meters, snow remains year-round, allowing skiing in July despite flowers blooming in valleys below. The recently constructed top of Salzburg platform delivers vistas spanning multiple alpine ranges. Between these extremes lies a landscape of waterfalls, gorges, and alpine meadows. The Sigmundhöhen Gorge cuts through limestone like a knife slash. The Schmittenhöhe Mountain offers hiking trails with 360-degree views across dozens of peaks. Massive dams and inclined lifts complement the natural wonders. The Kaprun High Mountain Reservoirs, created in the 1950s, represent triumphant reconstruction after World War II. Massive dams hold back emerald waters against a backdrop of jagged summits, accessible via the Lurchwand inclined lift, a ride that climbs over 1,400 feet, 427 meters, at a 45-degree angle. This region exemplifies Austria's diversity compressed into a single destination, from glacial ice to refreshing lake waters, from medieval architecture to modern alpine infrastructure. Visitors experience the full spectrum of alpine experiences without sacrificing comfort or authenticity. 13. Semmering Railway. Sometimes the journey itself becomes the destination. The Semmering Railway, completed in 1854, represents a perfect marriage of engineering precision and aesthetic sensitivity. This UNESCO World Heritage Site doesn't simply traverse mountains, it celebrates them. Built without modern machinery, this masterpiece required 20,000 workers to construct 16 viaducts and carve 15 tunnels through solid rock. The railway climbs from Glognitz to Mürzuschlag, gaining 1,509 feet in altitude over just 25 miles. That's 460 meters in 40 kilometers. The distinction of Semmering comes from how it complements rather than conquers the landscape. The elegant stone viaducts, some reaching 150 feet, 45 meters high, curve gracefully through valleys. tunnels emerge to reveal vistas more stunning than the last. Designer Carl von Gega created a railway that feels organic, almost as though the mountains themselves had permitted this human intervention. The journey offers a cinematic experience of changing landscapes, dense forests open to alpine meadows. Glimpses of distant peaks appear between tunnels. Historic hotels perched on mountainsides recall the railway's role in creating Austrian tourism, an era when Viennese aristocracy first discovered the mountain's allure. Traveling Semmering today means experiencing the same route that amazed passengers in the 1850s. Modern trains navigate the same tight curves and steep gradients, yet windows frame identical dramatic scenery. The railway's construction transformed how Europeans perceived mountains, not as obstacles, but as destinations worthy of admiration. This living museum of industrial heritage continues its daily service, a testament to visionary engineering that respected nature's grandeur, yet created something equally magnificent. The Semmering Railway transports people not just through mountains, but into a deeper appreciation of what mountains mean. 14. Bregenz and Lake Constance. At the meeting point of Austria, Germany, and Switzerland, Lake Constance creates a borderless landscape of extraordinary beauty. The city of Bregenz stands at this confluence of nations, its character shaped by alpine traditions alongside cosmopolitan influences flowing along Europe's third-largest lake. Bregenz divides into distinct personalities: the modern lakeside promenade with its avant-garde architecture, and the medieval upper town perched on a nearby hill. The true distinction of Bregenz comes from its floating stage, the Siegbühne, upon which opera productions achieve unparalleled grandeur against the backdrop of mountains and water. Sets rise directly from the lake, creating performances that merge natural and theatrical drama seamlessly. From Fender Mountain, accessible by cable car, the vista encompasses 3 countries. Below, sailboats traverse waters that shift from Caribbean turquoise near shore to deeper blues offshore. Cyclists circle the lake on paths crossing borders without ceremony. Ferries connect lakeside towns whose shared lacustrine culture transcends national divisions. The Bregenzerwald forest behind the city offers a different landscape. Rolling hills dotted with traditional wooden farmhouses, their distinctive architectural style recognized by UNESCO. Here, cheese-making traditions remain unchanged for centuries, with summer alpine dairy farms still producing using ancient methods. Bregenz represents Austria's outward-looking face, a location for natural cultural exchange, a place for international festivals alongside alpine traditions, and an example of how 3 nations share a common resource without conflict. Lake Constance doesn't divide countries, it unites them in appreciation of its beauty. 15. National Park Gesäuse. Raw wilderness pulses at the heart of Austria in Gesäuse National Park. Unlike more manicured alpine settings, this rugged landscape remains deliberately untamed, a territory demanding adaptation from visitors rather than accommodating them. Limestone peaks rise abruptly from the valley floor, their vertical faces attracting climbers seeking technical challenges. The Enns River, after carving this landscape over millennia, still thunders through narrow gorges, creating rapids that draw whitewater enthusiasts from across Europe. The name Gesäuse derives from the German Sausen, to rush or roar, perfectly capturing the sound of water and wind moving through this compressed landscape. Everything here feels intensified: the vertical relief, the crystalline quality of light, the sense of entering a realm in which human presence remains temporary. Ancient forests of spruce, beech, and pine cover lower slopes, providing habitat for rare species, including the Ural owl and black woodpecker. Above the tree line, alpine meadows burst with wildflowers during brief summer months. Even higher, bare rock faces host specialized plants surviving in seemingly impossible conditions. Hiking trails range from gentle valley paths to challenging alpine routes requiring technical equipment. The Dachstein House and Hallstatt mountain refugees offer shelter and traditional meals to those venturing deeper into the wilderness. Unlike other Austrian national parks, Gesäuse emphasizes minimal intervention. Old-growth forests remain unmanaged, fallen trees create habitat rather than being cleared, and rivers flow without constraint. This philosophical approach allows visitors to experience something increasingly rare in Europe: a landscape shaped primarily by natural forces instead of human design. 16. Salzkammergut. Spanning approximately 965 square miles, 2,500 square kilometers, across 3 Austrian provinces, the Salzkammergut is a breathtaking region where 76 crystal-clear lakes nestle between dramatic limestone mountains. Named for its historic salt mines that brought prosperity long before tourism, this UNESCO World Heritage landscape represents Austria at its most enchanting. Each lake offers distinctive character, from world-famous Hallstatt with its mirrored reflections of alpine houses to the larger Attersee, where Gustav Klimt found inspiration for his landscapes. Bad Ischl, once Emperor Franz Josef's summer residence, maintains its imperial elegance with historic villas and manicured gardens. Below ground, ancient salt mines tell stories of industry dating back 7,000 years, while above, traditional villages enhance rather than intrude upon their natural settings. The Dachstein Massif presides over this realm, its glaciers feeding the pristine waters below. Local culture thrives in seasonal celebrations, from flower-decorated boat processions to winter festivities when frozen lakes transform into natural skating rinks. Regional cuisine features freshwater fish prepared according to centuries-old recipes. The Salzkammergut embodies Austria's gift for creating harmony between human presence and natural splendor, a perfect synthesis of cultural heritage and alpine majesty. 17. Hochösterwitz Castle. Rising from a dolomite rock like something conjured from medieval imagination, Hochösterwitz Castle stands as perhaps Austria's most dramatic fortress. Its position atop a 570 feet, 174 meters outcrop made it virtually impregnable throughout history, a strategic advantage that saved Carinthia from Turkish invasion multiple times. The approach reveals the castle's defensive genius. A steep access road winds through 14 gates, each designed to trap attackers in killing zones. Yet beyond this martial purpose exists extraordinary beauty. The white limestone walls contrast with red-tiled roofs, creating a silhouette visible from almost 20 miles away. Inside, the castle preserves an authentic medieval atmosphere. Unlike more commercialized sites, Hochösterwitz remains privately owned by the Khavenhuller family, whose ancestors acquired it in 1571. The armory displays weapons spanning centuries, as the chapel houses religious artifacts dating back to the castle's 860 AD origins. From the highest courtyard, the view encompasses the entire Carinthian basin, rolling hills, alpine lakes, and distant mountains composing a landscape that explains why this strategic position warranted defending for over a millennium. Particularly magical is the castle's relationship with changing light. Morning mists often shroud the lower sections, creating the illusion of a fortress floating above clouds. Sunset transforms the white walls to gold. Nighttime illumination creates a landmark visible throughout the region. Hochösterwitz represents more than military architecture. It embodies Austria's historical position as defender of Western Europe against Ottoman expansion. The castle's survival through centuries of conflict speaks to Austrian resilience, as its current peaceful state reflects how thoroughly European history has transformed. 18. Eisriesenwelt. Beneath the surface of the Tennengebirge Mountains hides a realm of perpetual winter. Eisriesenwelt, world of the ice giants, extends for 26 miles, 42 kilometers, making it the largest ice cave system on Earth. Only the first 0.6 miles remains accessible to visitors, yet this glimpse into a frozen underworld leaves an indelible impression. The journey begins with a steep forest path and cable car ride to the cave entrance at 5,400 feet or 1,656 meters. Here, powerful gusts of cold air herald the transition into another world. Passing through massive entrance gates, visitors encounter the first ice formations, born from a perfect balance of temperature and humidity that transforms dripping water into crystalline structures. Illuminated by carbide lamps, massive ice walls tower overhead, their translucent blue surfaces refracting light in otherworldly patterns. The Eispalast, Ice Palace, presents a cathedral-like chamber with ice columns stretching from floor to ceiling. Nearby, the Heimer's Castle Formation rises 82 feet, 25 meters high, its layered appearance recording centuries of freezing cycles. Guides lead visitors up 700 steps cut into the ice, each footfall echoing through chambers that maintain between 32 degrees Fahrenheit and 30 degrees Fahrenheit year-round. The contrast between summer warmth outside and this frozen underworld creates a sensory experience unlike any other in Austria. Discovered in 1879 by naturalist Anton Posselt, Eisriesenwelt remained a scientific curiosity until the 1920s, before opening to public visitation. Today, it offers insight into how climate functions beneath the surface, a subterranean environment preserving ice, even as glaciers above ground retreat. This frozen labyrinth represents Austria's hidden dimension, a reminder that beneath every mountain exists another world, with darkness and cold, preserving wonders unseen by human eyes for millennia. 19. Styrian wine country. The rolling hills of southern Styria create Austria's most distinctive wine landscape. Unlike the terraced vineyards of the Wachau or the flatter expanses near Lake Neusiedl, Styrian wine country presents a gentler topography. Undulating green hills dotted with family-owned vineyards and charming wine villages. This region produces Austria's most distinctive white wines, particularly vibrant Sauvignon Blanc and the unique Styrian specialty, Velschriesling. The volcanic soils combined with a particular microclimate create wines with pronounced minerality and aromatic intensity that have gained international recognition. The distinction of the Styrian experience comes from the Buschenschank culture, family-run wine taverns serving their own production alongside regional specialties like pumpkin seed oil, cured meats, and fresh bread. These establishments, often connected directly to vineyards, offer an authenticity increasingly rare in European wine regions. The South Styrian Wine Road winds through picture-perfect landscapes, often compared to Tuscany, a comparison pleasing locals yet missing the distinctly Austrian character of the region. Architectural gems, such as the heart-shaped Spitzschnick Road, offer vantage points over vineyards stretching across borders into neighboring Slovenia. Autumn brings the most magical moments. Golden light illuminates vineyards during harvest as the smell of fermenting grapes fills the air. Locals celebrate with numerous festivals, most famously the Steirischer Herbst, featuring traditional music, dance, and cuisine, accompanying the year's new wine. Styria represents Austria's more relaxed face, a location for different time perception, a place prioritizing quality of life over hustle, and a region maintaining unbroken connections between land, food, and wine across generations. 20. Graz. A UNESCO World Heritage Old Town crowned by a fortified hill, Graz blends Renaissance elegance, medieval charm, and striking modern design. The city's cultural significance shone as European Capital of Culture in 2003. The Schlossberg Hill rises dramatically from the center, once fortified by one of Europe's strongest castles, until Napoleon's forces demolished it in 1809. What remains, the iconic clock tower and bell tower, stand as symbols of Graz's resilience. From these heights, red-tiled roofs stretch outward along the turquoise ribbon of the Mur River. Below, the old town is a masterclass in preserved architecture. The Landhaus courtyard exemplifies Renaissance perfection, while narrow alleys reveal hidden medieval courtyards. Herrengasse, the main artery, boasts aristocratic buildings now home to cafes and boutiques. What sets Graz apart is its bold embrace of contemporary architecture. The futuristic Kunsthaus, the friendly alien, hovers above historic facades, while the man-made island in the moor bridges past and present. Graz thrives as Austria's culinary capital, with Styrian pumpkin seed oil adding a rich, nutty touch to local dishes. University life injects youthful energy, fueling cultural festivals, experimental theater, and music from classical to cutting edge, a city where history inspires reinvention. Austria, where every mountain, valley, and village tells a story. If you enjoyed this journey through Austria, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share your favorite place in Austria in the comments. And for more charming places across Europe, don't miss this next video.